The sources frame it as the professional launch pad. It's privately funded, remember, launched its first season back in 2023, pretty successfully by all accounts. And the key thing it does is bring in genuine top-tier international stars.
Right, the big names.
Exactly. Which immediately provides this high-quality professional platform not just for fans to watch, but for the best local U.S. players to train with, compete against, learn from. It addresses that big gap, the need for a stronger domestic professional pathway.
Kind of like instantly leveling up the domestic scene. And MLC has plans to grow bigger.
Oh, yeah. Big plans.
Yeah.
For expansion and infrastructure. The goal mentioned is expanding from the current 6 teams up to potentially 10 franchises by 2031. More teams obviously means way more professional matches and playing opportunities. And that expansion is tied directly to substantial investment in building new dedicated cricket stadiums and upgrading existing facilities. That modular stadium in New York they used for the World Cup, that's a perfect example of the kind of commitment, even if temporary, to creating venues.
Right. And speaking of huge events and venues, the LA 2028 Olympics, that keeps coming up.
Yeah, the sources are emphatic about this one, calling it arguably the single most significant and transformative catalyst. You really can't overstate its potential impact.
Why is it so significant?
Well, first, it's just an unparalleled global platform. Exposure to a mainstream American audience like nothing else. Think about people watching the Olympics who might never tune into a cricket match otherwise.
True. The Olympic halo effect.
Exactly. And it unlocks doors, too. Access to significant governmental funding and public attention that cricket wouldn't normally get. So, USA Cricket is being very deliberate, meticulously aligning its strategies with the broader Olympic movement. The goal is to use LA 2028 to really elevate cricket's status to that of a truly mainstream and nationally recognized sport.
So it's strategic, not just showing up, but using that Olympic spotlight to change how people see the sport here.
That's the idea, making it part of the national conversation. And then, underpinning all this activity, there's crucial work on governance reforms and strategic alliances. USA Cricket has been working on a comprehensive overhaul and modernization of how it's run. They just recently, May-June 2025 timeframe, approved new constitutional amendments.
Okay, why are internal rules and governance so critical right now?
Well, the aim is to strengthen its framework, enhance athlete representation, and really importantly, align how they operate with the strict requirements of the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee, USOPC.
Ah, the USOPC connection.
Right. If you want to be part of the Olympic family, you need to meet their standards for governance. It's absolutely critical, the sources say, for long-term stability and credibility, especially with LA 2028 on the horizon. They're also focused on creating clear, fair talent ID and national pathways. You know, merit-based selection, proper support structures for players moving up.
Makes sense.
And they're not trying to reinvent the wheel entirely. They're forming coalitions with experts, bringing in outside help. The prime example given is this really interesting partnership between New Zealand Cricket, NZC, and a group called True North Sports Ventures, TNS, which owns MLC expansion teams.
New Zealand, why them specifically?
Because New Zealand punches way above its weight in cricket. They have a highly successful system. So NZC is providing comprehensive high performance and operational support, sharing their expertise on coaching, managing professional teams, integrating the pro league with the national development system. It's about borrowing from proven cricketing expertise and successful development models. Smart move.
Okay, if we kind of zoom out and connect this to the bigger picture, it sounds like a really comprehensive plan. But what are the ongoing challenges? What do they need to keep hammering away at?
That's a great question. Because, yeah, the plan looks solid, but making it happen and keeping the momentum, that needs constant focus. The sources do point out key recommendations. One big one is tailored marketing. You can't just market cricket the same way to the existing diaspora fans and the broader American public you're trying to reach.
Right, different audiences.
Exactly. They need strategies that really highlight the athleticism, the tactics, maybe the sheer speed and excitement of T20 in a way that resonates with someone used to, say, football or hockey. And working closely with U.S. sports media is seen as vital to help, demystify the sport.
Make it less foreign, more accessible, yeah.
Then there's the accessibility of facilities. Those big event stadiums are great, but for real grassroots growth, you need more local places to play. More accessible, high-quality local cricket pitches and dedicated training facilities. That's the quote. It's about consistent, everyday access for clubs, kids, coaching. Not just showcase events.
Yeah, the nuts and bolts.
Absolutely. And developing American coaches and administrators is another key point. Building that local knowledge base. You need people who understand cricket and understand the unique dynamics of the American sporting landscape.
Yeah.
That's crucial for real self-sufficiency down the road. You can't rely on imported expertise forever.
Good point.
And importantly, strengthening women's cricket. Sources call this absolutely paramount. Dedicated resources, clear pathways for female players, proper promotion. It's essential for broadening the appeal, doubling your potential talent pool, and just being an inclusive sport.
Makes total sense.
And finally, maybe the underpinning of it all. Financial sustainability beyond major events. You can't just live event to event. You need those diverse, reliable revenue streams. Sponsorships, yes, but also things like membership programs, maybe media rights for MLC games. That's what fuels the continuous investment needed.
So, a lot to keep working on. Who are the key players, the partners, really driving this whole thing forward, according to the material?
Yeah, the sources highlight a few crucial coalitions and partners. You've got the ICC, the global body, providing that essential guidance, funding programs like CREO, can't do it without them. Then the MLC founders and investors. They're bringing the private money, the business know-how, and crucially, the pull to attract those big international stars that kickstart the Pro League. Hugely important.
Right, the private sector piece.
Definitely. The New Zealand Cricket, NZC, through that TNS partnership we mentioned, injecting that specific high-performance expertise. That's a clever alliance. And, of course, the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee, USOPC. Especially with LA 2028 now locked in, they're a vital partner for governance, alignment, networking, credibility within the U.S. system.
Wow, okay. What a journey these sources lay out. I mean, from that totally unexpected, thrilling World Cup performance, that roar in New York, to this incredibly detailed, like multi-layered plan for actually building a long-term future for cricket in America.
Yeah, the conclusion you get from reading all this is pretty clear. USA Cricket is in its most exciting and transformative chapter, no doubt about it. That 2024 World Cup, it wasn't the destination, it was just a powerful opening act. It signaled that, hey, the U.S. is emerging as a serious contender.
And now, with all these strategies clicking into place, the grassroots stuff, MLC growing, the massive boost from the LA Olympics, these key partnerships, the expectation, reading between the lines of these sources, isn't just, let's do well again next time. It's much bigger. It's about fundamentally changing cricket's global map over the next decade and really carving out that permanent and prominent place for the sport right here in the heart of America. It really feels like you're watching history potentially being made in American sports.
Absolutely, which leads to maybe a final thought for you to chew on, building on that idea.
Yeah.
If cricket does manage to carve out that permanent and prominent place here, if it really takes root in the American heartland, how might that success, the culture it builds, the new fans, the facilities, how might that actually impact the other established sports and the overall sports culture within the United States itself? That could be a fascinating ripple effect to watch.